Hey guys, Marcus 1974 coming back at you. It's been a long time. I know it's been a couple weeks since I have been talking to you, but I've been doing a lot of work. I've been working on a plugin for Kerbal Space Program called Mission Controller. Originally, this program was designed and developed by a programmer named Nobody. Once 0.21 came around, the program actually broke and Nobody was a little bit busy, so I kind of made my own version of it, kind of forked off his original one and made what's called Mission Controller Extended. There's a couple guys working on this with me. Nathan is the more experienced programmer than I am, and so he's been doing a lot of the bigger changes. Saying that I'm not been doing a lot of big changes, but anyway, so right now Mission Controller Extended is at 0.18. This is the newest version out. Actually, it's 0.18.1 because I did add some new changes to it. This version right here that you're looking at right now is actually not the version that you'll download from my page. If you look down below, I'll give you where you can go download this plugin. What is Mission Controller? Mission Controller is a plugin that adds a campaign mode to Kerbal Space Program. So it gives you a bunch of different missions, stock missions. You can select a mission. It gives you a bunch of preset requisites that you have to do. Like right now, we got to orbit Kerbin, or you got to get to a minimum altitude of 70,000 in Kerbin. You have to have these parts on it, and that's how you do it. You do the mission, and you get a payout for it. This particular one's $50,000. You can see up here, I've always had 803,162, so that is actually over 800,000 crones is what the official designation that Nobody gave to this, so we'll just keep calling it crones. Big changes that we have made it since 0.10 was where Nobody left off. We went up from there. One of the big changes in here is in the settings. We got rid of the old difficulty options. Actually, they were all gone at one point. And now we have what's called normal flight mode, flight testing mode, and hardcore mode. Now, hardcore mode is technically, I brought that back because a lot of people wanted hard mode back, so I brought hardcore mode back. And what this does is it basically makes all of mission payouts reduced by 40%. Normal flight mode is just a regular medium difficulty of the old version. And flight testing mode, what this does, instead of disabling your plugin like you used to do, what flight testing mode does is it reduces all your costs to 3% of the actual craft, and that way you can simulate what it is to actually test a vehicle before you actually use it for a real flight. That's what that's supposed to simulate. But because of the limitations of Kerbal Space Program, what you can and can't do with a plugin, if you kill a Kerbal in flight testing mode, he will actually die in the game, so you got to be careful with that. Just pretend they're like testing and they were killed during testing or something. It's actually happened in the real space program, if we all remember back to the Gemini days and stuff like that. So that's a couple of the things that we've added. Get out of here. I've also added the financing window. The financing window gives you your passive mission payouts. You might not have seen these a lot. I've added them to a lot of my mission packages that are come with the game now, prepackaged. But basically what this is once you finish the mission, not only do you get the actual payout of the mission, but you actually get a passive payout every day for that mission while that vessel is still in space. If you destroy the vessel, you get fined about $100,000, plus you lose your passive mission payout. So most of the passive mission payouts are for 1 year time. So for 1 year, for every day, you'll get $100 for that one, $150 for that one, $100, $125 for a total. Right now, I have $375. There was a bug in here. I did fix it in 1.8, so it's all better now. And the only bug that is left is the countdown. So say you say next payment in 23 hours, 55 minutes. Well, that's not quite all there anymore. What happens is that every time you leave Kerbal Space Program, you come back, this time actually resets. But say you're in the game and you do a lot of time acceleration. Say you go to Duna or one of those places and you're time accelerating for 23 or 24 or 50 days, you're actually going to get paid for all those days on here. And the days will actually get reduced. I should probably add for you actually know how many days you have left. That's a good idea. your days will actually get reduced. So if you have it for a year, it'll take 50 days off of the whole year and all that stuff. So that's how that works. Let's go into here. Think of some other things. So when you load a vessel, we're going to load the vessel that we're going to use in here, and that is called the Gemini 2B. I believe that's it. We're going to do a simple transfer mission to the space station, the International Space Station. If you guys remember a couple episodes ago, I used in the International Civilian Space Program series, I had this vessel, which is the Gemini. I've been modifying this vessel for lots of different... I love this vessel. I've just done so much with it. I just love this whole thing, how it works. So I've been modifying it. This is a 2-man capsule. It gets 2 men up to the space station at a very reasonable price. Now, right now I have it set in flight test mode. So if I launch this vessel right now, it would cost me 2,401 krones to actually launch this. But the actual the normal flight mode is actually 77,000, not including Kerbal insurance costs. By the way, I have mine set to 20,000. I did reduce it a little bit because it was just annoying me. So I have that set to that. So what happens with Kerbal insurance costs? When you launch this vessel, you get charged $20,000. In my case, because I have it set to 20, you can actually have it set to 0. But in my case, I have it set to 20,000. This will have 2 Kerbals in it after I fix it up here, and it will charge me an extra 40,000 on top of the 77,000 for the total cost. So it would be in the 110 or something like that. So big changes that are in the cost breakdown. Something that's interesting that we did add is that everything's now broken down into what it is, and I've made the fuel separate, and I've made the parts separate. So Nathan was nice enough to change a lot of this stuff on how the calculations for the parts were done, and he added this nice little bit to it, where before, if you look up there and where it says cost, it says Probody QBE, then it says cost is the very first window. It says 1,329. Well, what Mission Controller now does is it changes that cost for all parts to be in line with what Mission Controller is actually charging you. It's a really good change. So it won't, if you're not using Mission Controller right now in your game, that will be a different cost in your game. That'll be the original cost that the developers of Kerbal Space Program actually added. What Mission Controller does, it actually changes that cost. So you can see how much that's going to actually cost you if you add it to this vessel. It's going to cost you 1,329. For other things, like the fuel tanks, it's going to cost you 330, but that's just a fuel tank. Remember, fuel tanks have fuel in it, so you actually have to pay for the fuel extra. Another thing that I should tell you, I did add a couple mods to this that this will work with. It will work with Ion Cross, the oxygen, because I use that mod, and it will also work with modular fuel tanks. So it will separate all the cost. If you look on here, I actually have oxygen life support. It's cost me 175K. That's for the Ion Cross, and the cost for modular fuel tanks, I don't use modular fuel tanks, but I did add it because it was requested quite a bit when I first started developing this plugin. So that actually splits up liquid fuel, all the different fuels that you can get in that thing. I don't have it in here because I don't use it, but it's basically how it works. So all your costs are broken down. All the parts are added to what is in line with Mission Controller for their cost. So now you have a pretty rough idea what things are going to cost you if you add it to your vessel. Very good change to how the original one worked. Nice stuff. Nice stuff. Now, if we actually look at this vessel is not prepared for how the new thing I want to show you guys that we added, and that is auto recycling. Now, auto recycling is when you stage your vehicles, usually you lose the vehicles, you don't get anything for them. Now we have auto recycling. So when you stage your vehicles, as long as you have enough parachutes to actually support the vessel that you're losing, you will get all your money back. So there we go. I've added those. So when this part of the vessel gets staged, we're going to want it to take out these parachutes. They will drop to the ground, and I will get money back for this stage. I'll get a recycling cost, is what we call it. Now this stage, I will add another 4. And where'd that go? Where did it put it? I just saw it pop up. So there. It's going to split there. So we want this up here to split with that. Alright, so once that splits, it's going to parachute. As long as it has the parachutes, you'll get the recycling costs back. I don't know if that's heavy enough. I've just added it to it just for giggles. It might not be enough. Who the heck knows? But we do want to get this vessel up and going. We also did the way the original recycling was done. In the old game, you would end the mission. In the old mission control, you'd end the mission and it'd pop up the recycle a vessel. That's no longer the case. That was one of the things that broke from 0.20 to 0.21. We changed it to now you have to go into the tracking station and actually recover your vessel, and then you'll get your recycling costs for this part that's going to be landing a little bit later. So let's just get this up in the air. Let me actually select the mission I'm going to use. I'm going to go on the Civilian Space Program. This is a selected mission I actually designed for myself, but it is in the pack if you guys want to use it. It's called the Space Station Transfer Mission, and it pays out $130,000. You can use this for transferring personnel to the station, or even transferring supplies. Like if I needed to send an oxygen supply to the International Space Station, I could use this as a way of paying for that mission. So, you know, it's something I added. It's in there for you guys if you want to use it. It's designed to take advantage. Most people that are using Mission Control, they're not going to send up vessels that cost $400,000 to. This is designed specifically to just go to the space station and leave the space station, land back on the ground. So let me actually save this because I got it saved for that. We'll launch it up and we'll get going. I am going to actually fast forward through this a little bit, for we do not have any, for the video is not too long. I do want to see if the recycling costs are going to work on this though, so we'll find out in a second. Go like this. Let me see. Alright, so here we go. Put this on. Let's find out where that civilian space station is. I'm here. The International Space Station is right there. We will fast forward this. We want to kind of get right there. And there we go. I'll actually catch up with it. There we go. Everything's time locked. This looks all set. Make sure that that's where it's going to break. Yeah, and these engines go off. Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, actually, before we do that, I noticed the crew insurance now is in here. Oh, I forgot to add another Kerbal. Oh, crap. So we got to go back to. I should have reverted flight. I should have reverted the flight. Darn it. I forgot to add when you have 2 capsules like that. KSP, you got to use the new. I could actually use the crew manifest, but I like using the new option that we have. Let me do this again. So we'll go to crew, and you see I have an extra seat in there, so I'm going to add Didrin in there, and now we'll launch. We'll clear the old one that's on there. Have 2 brand new guys going up there. It'll cost me 20,000 now, right? If you guys notice from the old UI and the new UI, I have made a lot of UI changes. It tells you now what mode you're in, like test flight mode, hardcore mode. Even tells you if it's disabled or not. A lot of things, like all this stuff, never was in the original one. I've changed a lot of the colors where you can visually see the difference. We add a lot of commas and stuff like that to the numbers and the true and false. A lot of UI changes that just I've made for it's simpler for you to know what's going on. So let's get this thing up in the air. We got our 2 Kerbals. Notice how I have it set. My crew insurance is set to 20,000. So I'm actually being charged 40,000. Remember, you get this back if you bring them home alive. If you don't bring them home alive, you lose that $40,000, and you have to pay out the insurance to all the little Kerbals all the little Kerbal children that you just killed. Not their children, but to the children of their dad you just killed, or mother, or however the hell Kerbals work. We don't know. We don't understand. God dang it. Just launched a goddamn vehicle. So here we go. Yes, it is a little slow taking off, but it does work wonderfully. Wonderfully. Now, if you notice on this, it doesn't have very many objectives. We got to get a minimum periapsis of 70,000, and docked equals true, or we need to be docked. Now, something I have noticed, if you guys, a lot of my missions, even though I've separated the docking from the reward, I mean from the body and a lot of the things, because it adds, docking's a little special in this. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We'll see if it works here. But say you have one mission goal that's to get to like 200,000. Well, even though the next mission goal isn't connected to that, you still have to be at 200,000 for that next goal to work, because you're still over curving. So you got to make sure that you're following the mission guidelines that are set. I found that out the hard way. These guys look very happy. Did I put lights on this thing yet? I did. Nice. Alright. Won't turn them on right now. For oxygen, what do I got? I got 250. That's plenty for those guys. Electric charge is 100. So yeah, I've used this vehicle many times, and I've used it with this mission, so I know it definitely works correctly. Hopefully we'll get our payout on this. I think I added enough. There's one parachute per tank that is on this, so hopefully it'll work. We're about to lose that stage. The stage, this seems like it's a little bit heavier now. Probably because of the parachutes. I've added, what, 4, 5, 8, 12 parachutes to this thing, so it's pretty dang heavy. Let's get this thing turning. We're about to lose this stage now. We're at 10. I still got to 10. That's good. There we go. We'll lose that stage. There goes the chutes. There goes that. We'll bring this baby up here. We want to keep this on the 90 degree. We want to keep this at equatorial. I'm actually a little bit off. No, it's back. Okay. So there we go. That's gone. That went down, so hopefully we'll get that back. We'll see if that actually works or not. We can tell if a little pop-up will come up saying that was recycled. Once it disappears or is destroyed by the game, we will find out. That's part of the new auto-recycling thingy-wimajiggy. I know it works on my satellite launchers because I've tested those 1,000 times. But this is, I just added these to it. Who the hell knows? They're still there, I can still see them. And we'll bring this down some more. I'll bring it here. Not that far. Nope, it's still down there. Huh. Okay, we'll bring this up. We're at 29,000. 29,000 and climbing. Sometimes that pops up out of the blue. You got to get a certain amount before the game actually destroys it. You can see they're still there. $30,000. 35. We'll keep this going. They're still there. And it's getting nighttime. Let's turn the lights on before it doesn't get too dark in the YouTube video. It does have charge on it. Yeah, okay. $36. There we go. We're at 40. I'm going to bring it right under him. Where is he? Where did my International Space Station go? Oh, there it is. Keep going. And right there, just like that. How much do I got left in that tank? Not a whole lot. And it looks like I didn't have enough parachutes on that because I didn't get any recycling cost out of it. I can't see them anymore. That's alright. Means I'm probably not going to get any recycling cost out of these because these are the same exact tanks. So we actually need to add more parachutes to those. Interesting. Alright. 57. Just going to fast forward here, guys. We're just going to get the interception and we'll be right back. Alrighty, guys, I am coming up on the station now. We'll be doing a retro burn here in a second to slow us down. Our mission objective, as you can see up here, we're at the minimum periapsis is 70,000, so we're at 103, so we're over that. That's where we want to be. You want to be over that when it says that. So all we need to do now is make sure we can dock. And here comes the International Civilian Space Station. It's coming into sight now. There's another vessel docked up here. That's a 3-man pod. Been doing a lot of flying up and around. Doing a lot of playing around, testing, stuff like that. Testing missions out and stuff like that. I haven't done too much with the actual International Space Program yet. But, we're working on it. Now this has a junior docking port on it, so I think it's on the other side. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Yeah, it is. It's right there. I can see it already. Yeah, it's right there. So we will bring this baby down. It's getting a little laggy. Got a lot of stuff on here. Set as target. We will actually aim at it. There it is. Put some RCS on. Put this in docking mode, and let's just get our butts over there. I'm gonna dock this real quick, you guys. We don't have to go through a whole boring docking. You guys have seen it 1,000 times. Whoops, I kind of smashed that pretty good. Alright, so we should have docking goal as true. Now, this doesn't have a landing goal, so we don't have to worry about that. So, that is technically done. I can finish this mission. Oh, I've already done this mission. Look, I can't do it again. So, technically I could have finished it. I thought this was a repeatable mission. I'll have to fix that. So, I would have been able to finish this mission. I will actually go fix that. But anyway, so that's docking at its best. That's mission controller. Usually a little finished mission would come up here. Let me do it. Nah, I'm not gonna do it right now. It's no big deal. You guys know how it's done. This is supposed to be a repeatable mission. I don't know why it's not, but I'll put a fix out for that. So, as always, guys, this is Malkuth1974. Download Mission Control Extended if you want missions and stuff like that. And do cool stuff like that and do nice stuff. If you want missions, you want control, you want to be able to buy your vessels and all that stuff, you know, it makes you think about making your vessels instead of making crazy ass vessels that you can never afford in real life. Malkuth out.